Hey yeah everybody, this will be a HB POV for CM Fractals. Here we go. For 100 CM you usually bring Sanctuary, so make sure you have the Master of Consecrations trait lined in Virtues. That's the first column, bottom trait. And afterwards, if you no longer use Consecrations in the other fractals, then make sure to change that trait to the middle one. If you forget, no big deal. Just gives you an extra Aegis. Remember, this one has Boon Strip at entry, or at boss start, so always wait until you're in combat to start up. Start with quickness, obviously, and then might. Or do might, and then your quickness during your might is better. Whenever you go to mid, make sure you spread out, being a HealBrand. Let your DPSers stay close if they can. Some of them will bring invulns and whatnot. Or if you have a melee player, you especially want them to stay. On the CC bars, you want to delay. You'll see that big circle there, and then a half circle, and then the red will be next. You want to break it in the red. That'll buy you as much time as possible to potentially skip the phase if you meet the DPS check. We didn't hear, so you want to get out of middle and basically collect your orbs. Rotate clockwise. If you collect 3, rotate and then jump. Rotate one more time, collect 3, and then they're right under the last one. If everybody does that, then it's pretty quick. Also, that's a good strat for if you're doing the 10-second achievement, just to keep familiar with it. Whenever you hit 66, if you're doing the port, you'll just place it in the middle. Now I like to just wait to see which way is the more open way to go. You can put your port away and do your boons if you want. Keep your uptime high. Not necessary, but if somebody does get hit, at least they'll have some buffs. On your last one, you'll put the port down. I like to delay it so people don't accidentally take it back early. You want to take the port whenever the fire is about to hit you. Next, you'll hide behind the rock. You can stand in front as long as you're walking backwards into it. And that'll allow you to avoid that knockdown from the rock when it explodes. Again, always split as HealBrand when it's time to do so. Alright, on this part you want to get out of the middle with the group. Ideally you'll all get blown the same way, and if you have a port, you just take it back to mid. If you don't have a port, you can run back, or you can just stay by the edge of the wall. It doesn't matter which. If you do come back to middle, it just makes it easier because you don't know which way she's going to go, basically. In this little section, always watch your water stacks. Try to take it from others when you are low, or when you have none. And try to just walk through the group, pass it off to somebody else. If you get around 5, 6, whatever you're comfortable with. Tome 3-5 is nicer for whenever the greens are about to pop. And you can use your Tome 2 in between. On the last CC, you want to do it pretty slowly as well. Again, it's a big circle, and then there will be a half, and then you know red is coming, so now you want to break it. You got about a second to let it stay red before you start taking damage. If you have a lot of range classes here, it's better if you go all the way to the wall, unless you have like scourges or something that doesn't get reflected. Again, it's best if the high water stacks go to the wall and the low water stacks be in front. That way you can manage the water more effectively. And that's it for light phase. Here most groups will do a GG. If you are going for title, you would just obviously stay alive and keep going. No pre-boons, remember. Always try to watch these arrows. You'll see I'm just away from the wall just a bit, and then after it goes past, I go to the wall. And just don't be in front of her when that double goes out. Whenever she moves, you want to be one of them to spread. Let your DPSers stay close, at least one of them. Always focus on boons when everybody's stacked up nice and tight. Whenever this first sorrow appears, that's usually the supports. Let your DPSers keep going. So put everything you got basically on it. Try to get your sync on there as soon as possible because it does take 7 seconds if you have it traded. You'll only get 5 seconds if you forget the trait. Whenever the fears get close, try to get some stab if you can. That way if somebody does get hit, they won't get stunned. Whenever you're on your way to 33, you need to just check the DPS. If you can hit 33 without CCing, that's what you should do. You see we ignore the bar here because we phased instead. We saved our CC for the sorrows. Usually its support goes left, so you'd find the guild on your screen there, and then support would go left of it, DPS would go right of it. That's typically the way most groups I've seen do it. Again, don't forget to give stab whenever the fears get close. Always delay because that F3 5 doesn't last very long. For their next boss, Skorvald, if you want to bring more stab, you can trade Pure Voice. Just know that your symbols are going to lose their healing power, so just do that if you want to. And then don't forget to take off Master of Consecration if you no longer use any consecration skills in your utility. The rest of the fractals you can always pre-boon at each mislock. Start quickness, give might, blast your mantas during your might, give stab at the end, whatever you want to do. Just get in your own little routine. As soon as you're ready, you grab your mislock and you go. Everybody's waiting on boons anyway. Ideally, you'll all go to this island together, and then you'll give stab. If you get split, you can delay it, but use your judgment there. If you think somebody's about to get knocked off, obviously give it. You can also tome 3, 5. You can also shield 4, but a lot of the shockwaves are multi-hit. So it is best if you just kind of position yourself toward the wall on the last 3. In case you do get knocked back, you won't go flying off the edge. On the 4th one, you take the portal back if you have them. If not, you just take the rip and then continue burning. Whenever he does his dash, you can give stab if you want, and then everybody can just stay in the middle. He doesn't really do much damage with his dashes. Try to have a cleanse ready for that big boom in case somebody gets hit. On these last couple of islands, on the last rotation, I do like to just kind of to save up my stab, because you're going to want a lot of it whenever you get back to the final burn. So just trust that your group will stand by the wall or have their own and do big DPS. When you get back after he wakes up, you want to have some stab on. And once that stab is about to run out, if you're still burning, pop into your tome 3 and give some more. And then you can pop into tome 2 if you need heals. For Astra, there's a few options. You can bring Reflect, Wall of Reflection. If you do, you might retrait Master of Consecrations. And always try to wait for your whole party to get here before you start it, or else they're going to get ported in. And they could have a bad day. Whenever you get the boss, try to CC quickly. If you do get a good CC, it'll give you more time for your stab to get off cooldown if you used it for the initial eye at the beginning. Your tome 3 bubbles will do good for reflex here as well.
clones feel. Invigorating.
Whenever all the clones are CC'd and you all group back up in the middle, try to give an Aegis and a stab. If you do, then nobody will go down there from that big blast, even if they miss it. And you can do that just with Tome 3-5, or you can use your sword Shield 4 and a stab, whatever you want to do. For Arkk, same thing. Some people like Wall of Reflect. I typically like to bring lore and everything in Fractals because there are a lot of Kandis and the region is nice. It's a nice little passive hill every time you have to split.
There's the power.
As well. Your stab at the beginning for your pre-cast will last through that first eyeball. Always try to be in the greens. For the red marbles, you'll see Tome 3-3 and Tome 3-5. If you have a reflect and stab, then it's basically canceled. Try to give both. And then you can stand your ground the eye at the phases if you want. Push blooms clockwise is how most groups do it. If your DPS is high enough, you can skip the 80 to 70 ANOM and the 50 to 40 ANOM. Whenever the gladiator spawns, try to give stab for his third auto attack, and also for that it'll help people get out of that beam. Don't forget, on the orbs, you can either attack them or you can just walk to the tower. If one does get pushed in the wrong direction, just do the opposite if you find it easier. Just walk over and let it come to you.
Projectional defense facsimiles online.
Hardness with chaos of interminable space-time.
For Mama, same thing. Some people like Sanctuary here. The better the CC, the faster this fight does go. Seems like the smoother too. I like using stab for when Mama does the spin. That'll just keep people, in case they miss it, from getting knocked down for, I think it's like 5 seconds. It's pretty big, so it's a good little safety net there. Always try to CC the knights quickly, as well as Mama too, though. And always try to save a stab for when Mama comes over after 25. Whenever she jumps up in the air like that, it's going to be a big triple shockwave. You want to be able to cover all of those. For Siax, whenever you run in, I like to be the farthest one to the west. That will give you the orange AoE for the extra vet spawns. After your first CC, you can just simply duck out for a bit and make it spawn over there. That way your DPSers can do their thing and make it easy for them. And guarantee that no extra ads are spawned, basically, in case somebody's greeting hard. After the phase, same thing, run in, grab some boons, step off the boss for just a sec. After the AoE spawns, move back in. You don't have to do that, it's just convenient. Typically in pug settings, the HealBrand and the Arkk will go south, and then the DPSers will go one of the other directions.
Never felt better.
But we try to keep it the same, that way everyone is consistent.
Synergy is never felt better.
Whenever Ensolyss is about to do his slam, you can give an Aegis, shield 4, tome 3, 5, and then you can dodge the second one if you want, or if you dodge the first one and then you can just stay out a bit until after the second, all the hallucinations do their slam. Either way you prefer. Both are pretty straightforward once you get the hang of it. You do want to stay nice and tightly clumped though whenever Ensolyss does his initial slam. That way all of the hallucinations will also be tightly clumped as the players were. For the ring capture phase, just find your little groove. I like to stay in the back near the red and in your little pocket. Try to give stab during the CC bar, if it's not a really quick CC.
Attacking enemy targets.
And try to have a stab ready for that big double. It usually happens after a dash, somewhere in between 45 and 35. It's not guaranteed to always be after the dash though, as you saw there.
Powerful combination.
Ouroboros turns eternally. Vine and serpent entwined in me. You may die now. Contain me. I will not be destroyed by such as you.
Never felt better.
Stab is nice in this last 15%. For the first two at least. The rest are you just kind of standing there. They go on the side of you. But yeah, that is it. I hope you all enjoyed. Again, this is CM Fractals for HealBrand.
Another testament
Thanks.
to my
Have a good one.
greatness.